believes I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello. Welcome to episode 34 of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney Perry. I'm still Courtney Perry. And I am outside, staring up at a almost full moon. It's like 3/4 of the way, I would say. And thinking how amazing it looks because it's just perfectly framed between the silhouette of trees and between these awesome clouds, and it just looks stunning. So I had to come outside and look up and check it out for a bit. Plus, the crickets are doing their thing. They are rocking out. So I just like coming outside. I love coming outside at night, like being outside sometimes at like 3 a.m, where it's just calm and peaceful, and some things are sleeping and other things are just getting up, and it's just fascinating. And it started making me think of the fact that some people are so fearful of nighttime. They're fearful of being outside in the dark. And I get it. I totally understand, because obviously you can't see. You have no idea what's in front of you, so you can't protect yourself. You can't prepare. You're just sort of, you're literally, blind. So it's totally understandable. I get it. But it's interesting because I've just had this weird fascination with being outside at night. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have to kind of get used to my surroundings. It's not like I want to be plopped out in the middle of nowhere and have it be nighttime and I have no idea, what my environment is like and what things, lurk out there. Because again, it comes to being prepared. You want to be prepared. So when I know my surroundings, when I'm aware of what animals come out at night, what I need to do to have them stay away from me and me be aware of them, and us have an understanding of each other, and when I'm aware of what's normal and what's not, it just, it's just perspective. Again, it's kind of all about perspective. And I look at it like the tree that's in my yard at night is the exact same tree that's in my yard during the day. There's no difference between the trees and the things that are in my yard at night than there are during the day. It's just perspective. There might be different, again, critters that come out, but you just have to be aware of each other and know, how to kind of steer clear of one another, respect each other. And so that got me thinking of, again, this perspective and how a lot of people don't like darkness because they don't feel safe and they're not educated in their surroundings and what's out there. And then I thought, that's kind of the same as life in general. We don't like darkness because we can't prepare ourselves. We feel vulnerable. We feel like, we want to be able to feel safe and protect ourselves. And how can we if we have no idea what's coming at us? So it's like that in life too, If we don't know what's coming at us, then how can we prepare ourselves? But I used to have this reoccurring dream that I was in the woods and it was dense. And it was dense with trees, but it was also thick and dense as in the air. The air was so thick and dense that when I would try to run, I could feel how thick and heavy it was. And it's interesting because, again, the night and the darkness hasn't scared me, as in I'm not necessarily scared of the things that are around at night. It's more I start feeling claustrophobic. I start feeling small. I start feeling panicked because I feel claustrophobic and small. Yet I've had this interesting fascination with, the nighttime ever since, like I said, ever since I was a kid. I've always been up at night, and I don't know, but again, it's about perspective, because then you've got getting up with the sun. Sunrise has its own magic. Sunrise is beautiful in its own right, and it has so many different things to offer, and the critters that come out during the day it's all so fascinating. And that got me thinking about, right now, again, perspective. Whether you're looking up at the moon right now, or if you're looking up at the sun, we're all under this same world, which is cheesy and cliche, of course, but and again, when I did my other podcast and I was trying to record it, it just sounded so much better. But it's about perspective, and I feel like it's also about educating ourselves and being able to feel safe and prepared. I think we all want to feel safe, and we all need to educate ourselves. I think part of feeling protected and safe and prepared is educating ourselves of our surroundings, being aware of our surroundings, being aware of what's normal, being aware of what's different. I don't mean paranoid. I don't mean going around, acting like we're constantly, going to get attacked or something. Don't be paranoid. I just mean be aware of others and their perspective and maybe where they're coming from, and be aware of the fact that we all are looking at things maybe a little bit differently, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means right now I'm looking at the moon, someone else is looking at the sun, and we just have a different angle on things. And if you are educated on, see, I lost my train of thought. Now I just started drifting and it all went to shit because, again, nailed it on the first one. And plus I'm sidetracked by the fact that I genuinely, for real, went from looking at the moon to now there's this weird ass cloud that looks like, and I don't think that it is, for the record, but looks like a gigantic alien spaceship that is lit up perfectly by the moon, but you can't see the moon, so it literally looks like the bottom of one of those like flying saucer type of spaceships. It looks like there's light coming down in between my perfectly silhouetted trees. So I got a little sidetracked and off track and wandered on there. See, this is why it's the ramblings of an insomniac, and this is why, getting sleep is important, because now my brain is mush brain. But honest to goodness, if you could see what I'm looking at right now, it's freaking insanely gorgeous and so cool. Wow. Anyway, I want everybody to just maybe try appreciating that everybody has their own wants and needs and desires and beliefs, and we're all just kind of trying. And some of us are trying a little harder than others. Some of us are kinder. Some of us suck more than others. I'm not saying that everybody out there is great, and I'm not saying everybody out there has good intentions. Some people are just shitbags. It just is the way it is. But if you yourself are genuinely getting up and trying to put one foot in front of the other. Get to work if you don't feel like going to work, but you're doing it anyway. If you're visiting someone you don't really want to visit, but you're doing it anyway. If you are quitting an addiction and, you're kind of scared and you're freaking out, but you're doing it anyway. If you are taking a leap of faith and taking a job that you're scared to take, but you went to the interview and you did it anyway, good for you. Because that's more than a lot of people. So good for you. Anyway, I hope that from wherever you're at in the world, you are sitting outside, you can sit outside, look up and just know that you are looking at a different view than someone else. You're even looking at a different view than your neighbor that's right next to you. You're looking at a different view than someone standing in your house than you are outside. We all have a different point of view. And right now, I am feeling pretty darn grateful. I'm feeling grateful. There's a big old mess going on in the world. And we're all feeling pretty unheard and angry and hurt. And there's people from different parts of the world that are feeling angry and hurt and frustrated and unheard for different reasons. And man, I really wish we could all just have some peace. I wish we could have some peace. So I'm wishing peace for everybody, even if it's just for a moment, even if it's for a second. I'm sending everybody out there just a little bit of peace. I'm going to try to see if I can have you hear the crickets for a second. Okay. Well, now one of my neighbors in the background is video bombing, and he has his excavator going on at, 9:30 in the evening. And granted, it's quite a ways away from me, but it's all about how it echoes. And so, I'm telling you, the other one I recorded was great, but the wind or something kept screwing it up. So if I listen to this one and there's a bunch of flaws, I don't know. I might have to keep it, you guys. I just don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I am Courtney Perry, and if you are tuning in and listening to me again for a second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever time, thank you so flippin' much. I appreciate it. You rock my socks. And if you're tuning in for the very first time, also appreciate it greatly. Thank you. Have a great evening. Until next time.